So, what do you guys want to talk about?
You can call this the New World Order of Wrestling, brother. Put out the caution tape. Put out the orange cones. Acknowledge me.
Hey there, and welcome to A Plus Wrestling here on KPHR Hamilton and on YouTube.com at Hutch Henrys. We are your hosts. I'm Boris, and as always, I am joined by Hutch.
Wearing my red today to represent for Canada and the federal case against Sean Chan, who's, of course, stalking Liv Morgan. Good on him. Somebody had to, you know?
Right?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, that's a thing that's going on.
Indeed. Boris, it's a giant-size issue. I don't know if we're actually going to go long, but our intention is to try because we've been so busy lately. We didn't even do last week. We're making up for it. It's like an annual.
Exactly. Extra size, extra cost, not more artists, not anyone special.
Just once again, we're like leading into a bait and switch Friday, big title match. That's probably not like nothing's gonna happen because that's what nothing happens, right?
Nothing.
There's a million things that could happen actually coming up. Everything's so bad. None of them are good options, but there's lots of options.
Yeah, I guess. Right? I don't know.
All right, let's get into it, Mr. Showrunner. Mr. Has a Plan. You got a plan, right?
Do I have a plan? I never have a plan. Well, we'll see. I guess I should turn on the chat. Let's turn on the chat, at least so I can see it. Yeah, we got a lot to talk about this week. Okay, let's start with this. It's rare that we talk about them. I cover them for Slam Wrestling, slamwrestling.net. TNA. We're seeing a lot of departures happening over at TNA right now, or the past few weeks. Departures, whether they be mutual or not, we don't know. I can tell you some of them aren't. Steve Macklin has left. A couple other women have left. Tessa Blanchard left. Today it was announced that Sami Callihan was also leaving. And the biggest name probably was someone who wasn't really an active member of the roster, but he was more on the creative side. And that is Tommy Dreamer. Tommy Dreamer is gone from TNA Wrestling. Wow. TNA Wrestling is talking. Yeah. They're talking about. Yeah. So there's a lot of hoopla about what's actually going on with TNA. Oh, there goes my pop filter. But yeah, so there's a lot of hoopla about what's actually happening at TNA right now. And, you know,
I've heard say hoopla without your pop filter, bro.
I know. Hoopla.
Yeah.
Hoopla. Cream. It's actually not, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. It used to be worse. But I'm using the mixer now, so I at least have control over gain and stuff. But yes, lots of changes over at TNA. Lots of they're calling it as cost-cutting measures, aligning the workforce, blah blah blah. They're using a lot of corporate speak for our asses are getting ready to be sold.
Yeah, like my TNA's getting TNA, right? I mean, this big AMC deal that they had at the beginning of the year, am I wrong? Was supposed to bring in like so many eyes and all this money and all this stuff. And now there's cost-cutting measures and like the thing's gone in the toilet completely. Like, I don't understand. And like bringing back Tessa Blanchard and the way they did too, like sneak her into the company in the weird way. But they did nothing with her. You had the most controversial figure around, you know, like it was crazy what they had to work with, and they did not work with it at all. So I don't know what to say. Macklin gone.
The Tessa Blanchard stuff is interesting because she was also working under a CMLL contract, and now the way that wrestling works, you're either with us or against us. So Tessa was essentially made to choose, and well, she chose CMLL.
Dude, CMML is way bigger than TNA. I mean, like, we're not talking like completely international, making big stars, things like that. You want to go to WWE or AEW, maybe TNA is putting you on some sort of international television. I don't know. But in the grand scheme of things, CMML destroys TNA. Crowd base, like money. She's going to make more money there on an exclusive contract. Like, it's just a far bigger, better company. And now she's working for the competition, and they are running hard to go against AAA and against AEW, like both beasts. So she's like at the head of the enemy now. Like, that's where she wants to be. Everybody hates her anyways, right? So go work with the bad guys, Eva Lynn.
AAA and WWE. But yeah, no, that's the whole thing, right?
Her release came under the guise of scheduling conflicts, though, not cost cutting. But I mean, everybody seems to have a different reason.
regardless, she's gone, but they're cutting costs for sure. And here's the thing, they didn't really use her. Like you said, they weren't really using her because she was causing controversy. Maybe there were people who didn't want to work with her. We don't know. Point is, she wasn't being used.
Everybody got Steph DeLander, and like Mance Warner going to leave with her as well. Now you're saying Tommy Dreamer. I mean, it's just everybody's gone. There's really weird things happening. I think Santana's probably going to lose to Nick Nemeth coming up, maybe lose that title. Nick, and the big Hog, there's a Hog card coming up with Nemeth trying to take the Hog title. Steph DeLander's now working over there, going to take on Shotzi for their title. A lot of TNA talent working on that show. Swan, Mustafa Ali, and of course, Amazing Red returning at Slammiversary, his first match with the company in 15 years. So maybe something going on there, more of a partnership. You might like, I don't know what's going on, but it's all very interesting. That's for sure.
Oh yeah, it's interesting to say the least. But and then you have to remember something that always pops up. And this is like public news, so this isn't us talking out of our asses. And it's the fact that part of the TNA WWE TNA TKO agreement is that WWE TKO has the first right to purchase, meaning that if Anthem decides to offboard TNA, TKO has the legal right to be the first ones to put in an offer. That doesn't mean anything, but it could mean a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, what are they doing with TNA? What are they buying it for? The library? They probably already have access to stuff if they want. I mean, it's not like they would get the library and suddenly start putting a ton of stuff online. I mean, maybe they have talked about how surprised they are that the WWE Vault has done so well. Like they're like massively shocked to like tenfold shocked. They're just like, wow, we had no idea this response was going to be like this. Maybe they're thinking the same thing with TNA. There was nothing better than that like 24/7 Twitch TNA channel for a while. That was pretty fun. Remember that?
Oh, I remember. Yeah. But TNA also runs on a lot of those free, like Tubi, Pluto TV. They have a TNA channel on those already running 24/7.
Well, there you go. If any of those are making good numbers, WWE might be like, all right, that's it. We'll take it. I mean, it can't be that much. Funny if TNA sold for more than WCW, even adjusted for inflation. That would.
I think it'll sell more than WCW and less than ROH. Nothing's gonna sell more than ROH. Jesus Christ, Tony! Like, oh, yeah.
Well, here you go. What else you want to get into? We want to get into some more rumor and innuendo. We got CM Punk up there in the corner. You want to talk about all these crazy Punk rumors?
Please go ahead while I try to fix my mic. While I try to fix this damn thing.
CM Punk's on steroids. CM Punk is unhappy with the company. CM Punk is talking to AEW. CM Punk was mad about his wife's booking. CM Punk is causing troubles backstage. There is like the amount of CM Punk rumors. So the guy's off TV for like 2 months, and it's insane. His last match. Oh, CM Punk has was asked to take a pay cut and is going to sue the company now. Even though his last major match was like WrestleMania or something as like the main event. So yeah, all of this stuff, as far as I'm concerned, is completely bonkers. This guy's just on vacation. He's like mid-40s. He's injury prone. He's taking care of himself. And I mean, I don't know what he's going to say about it. I haven't seen him pushing the straight edge hard. He doesn't talk about it anymore, even though I think he still has the X's on the hands. And I know a lot of fans will ride him hard for it, but if CM Punk at the stage of life he's in now has like had a beer or two or tried some tequila while in Mexico with the boys, or like is taking steroids or something for, healing purposes. This is a guy who was being given like Z-Packs and stuff like it's hard to say you're straight edge when you're on all these antibiotics and over the counter medications at like the darkest point in your life. But the whole straight edge thing for him was probably at a time where he's young, everybody's drinking, doing drugs, traveling around. Like we're talking, this guy was IWA Mid-South kind of stuff. We're talking Ian Rotten. So like, I'm sure the environment he was around was not great. And his stance was like, I'm straight edge. I'm not drinking myself stupid. I'm not getting into trouble. I'm not being like you guys. And sure, like that is the defining personality of CM Punk, is he is like very altruistic in his own way. There we go. Was that a yeah? Was that a test? Yeah.
Yeah, that was a test. Yeah. I love you. Knew exactly what I was doing. That was a test. Yeah. Yes, you're correct.
But now it's morphed into, he doesn't need that anymore. He's his own man. Like he doesn't need to be like, the platform, like the
Look,
you know, the plinth that he stood on to be like, I am a straight edge is not necessarily, it's not necessary in his life now. You know, nobody thinks CM Punk's going to become a drug addict or is getting in trouble, you know? So like, let the guy have a, like I was going to say, let the guy have a bump. He's not doing a bump. Let the guy have a freaking, I was picturing a shot and somehow I said bump. I don't know why. I let him have a shot once in a while or whatever, you know? You know, my boss just gave me some of his maple syrup that he makes in his sugar shack the other day. And I was all excited. I'm like, hey, dude, I've seen the pictures. Like, great, thank you. You know, if somebody owned the Rock is handing you his tequila or a freaking McGregor's saying, here, have some 10 or whatever he calls his stuff. What's McGregor's booze again? 12, 10?
I forget what it's called. It's
got a number in it. Hey, you're like, okay, I'll try it. Thanks you. Then cheers. Bam. You know, like, so I him being on steroids or him doing something to take care of himself and looking big, who knows? But like,
it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, does it really matter?
No, that's what I mean. That's what I'm saying.
I know. I'm just trying to get us to the point.
And of course, speaking of CM Punk, we got to tie in Danhausen there. Danhausen's going to like, is he going to get like a one-day Knicks contract or something to like get the championship? That's what he's pushing for. Like, dude,
of course he is.
Forever. He's like the new Elvira. Forever. Danhausen forever now.
Is the parade tomorrow? I think the parade's tomorrow.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, he's the new Elvira. He's around. He's going to be around forever.
The new Elvira. That's
what's he gonna do when he's old? Like, can you picture? Remember Gremlins 2? Like the guy who's doing like he's like,
I know exactly who you're talking about.
Yeah, okay, he's like the Gremlins 2 guy, right? And he'll be like,
I love how serious he gets. Like he uses like his reporter voice.
Yeah,
as, the Gremlins are running wild.
You're gonna see him on Gutfeld or like Fox News in like 15 years, and he'll be like, like Tyrus. He'll be taking over for Tyrus, and he'll be like, dude, can you believe Danhausen's on Fox TV? Jeez, on Fox News.
Yeah. Sorry. I'm looking through my notes.
Talking? Bloody hell. If we can keep talking, okay, let's go. You know how I like to do chronological. We'll go back chronologically to SmackDown, where Charlotte Flair defeated Sol Ruka. So Flair Ruka, she's on her way to the top there, defeating Ruka, Valkyria, and Jade Cargill, the Cargill Gargle. we're gonna get that eventually. I'm hoping for house shows, man. Like Jade Cargill, they can't keep her around unless they have house shows. Like if she's gonna have a match against Charlotte Flair on some event coming up, you know, like that's a pretty big match you can like marquee and put on. Their first time ever, you know, you can push that shit one-on-one, I guess, since they just had a match that I'm talking about here. But dude, they need a house show loop to like work on a match so they can come out and do it right.
I'm sure that they will.
This multi-man situation is not for her, man, because she's a by the book, what's my next move kind of gal. Where am I going? What's okay after that? It's this, and then after this, it's that, and then I give you the thing. Like, so with these multi-man matches, you could tell she's like a deer in the headlights. She is lost. She's got to keep track of all this shit. One thing goes wrong, she's not no Dolph Ziggler in the freaking Elimination Chamber where he's like, all right, everybody, this is what we're doing. You know, she can't handle it.
Best match ever. Ever. That Raw the dark match, Hell in a Cell, was it? With Cena and all them, and
it was an Elimination Chamber match where like somebody went through a pod, and then like Mark Henry decided, well, screw it then, and he just like walked out of his pod because in his mind, Mark Henry, he's in his logical mind, he's like, well, wrestling's supposed to be real, right? And I'm the House of Pain. I wouldn't just stay in my pod if somebody broke. So he walks out and he's all like, "What's up, boys?" Yep. And then of course they're all like, Dolph Ziggler's like, "This is the real House of Pain." Okay, everybody, listen to me. And they're all like, "No, all of that. Everybody in there's bigger than him." And he's just like, "Everybody, listen, all you musclehead fucks. This is what we're gonna do." That's right. I dropped one. I dropped it on purpose. I thought about it first too, and I was like, "No, this is gonna hit hard if I drop the F." What do you think of that?
I appreciate it.
All right, good. Jey Uso also advancing in the King of the Ring, right? That happened. Yeah, so like that happened. I don't know where that freaking leaves us. The only pot, like
it's what is it? Jay and Javon Evans in the semifinals.
Yep, and like I don't think Javon Evans is going through, right? So
we'll talk about that what happened on Raw, but yeah, it makes more sense for it to be Jay at this point.
Yeah. If we're gonna keep on with SmackDown, we got Sami Zayn, Gunther, Cody Rhodes. Like, who knows how are they gonna lay this out? Like, is Sami actually gonna get a title run?
I don't know, man. Okay, but here's my thing. Now, especially with Sammy kind of being that third person, Gunther, who knows what they're doing. Cody, God knows, like, is he getting stale? Does he need some time off? Is he going to take some time off for Street Fighter stuff? What do you think the end goal is for these three? I know that's kind of what you're asking, but like great.
Because you've got Saturday Night Live coming up. You've got King of the Ring coming up. You've got there's so many pay-per-views. There's stuff coming up, man. I probably should have researched more, but all I know is
it's all on the road to SummerSlam. Okay,
yeah, exactly.
Okay. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about this. We'll jump a little bit. Let's talk about Night of Champions happening in just 2 weeks, week and a half,
and that's in Saudi,
days.
Right?
That's in Saudi. Yep. Now, what do we have? We have Obafemi versus probably Jey Uso in the King of the Ring finals.
Mm-hmm.
Who of those two would face the undisputed champ? Now, here's the thing. We're assuming that the winner of this is going to face Cody. What if because here's the thing. Obafemi can face anyone. Doesn't fucking matter. That's mine for the week. Jey Uso, technically, he's been instructed to get the other belt. So technically speaking, he should go, and challenge Cody. But what if he says, no, I'm going to challenge you, Roman?
Yeah, that's what I meant when I was saying there's so many ways they could go. Like Jay could win, challenge Roman, which is he could challenge Cody, which is like, whoa, like, does anybody want to see any of this? He's not main event Jey Uso as far as I'm concerned. Does Brock screw over Obafemi in some fashion? Because does Obafemi win and get a title shot? Does Brock destroy Obafemi on Monday before this match happens? So they got to slot somebody in, like who like a Saudi Punk could come in, and like that's a very
Saudi Punk.
That it's happened before, right? With Shane McMahon, but it's also a very Triple H thing to do. The tournament doesn't really matter. Have Punk come in, beat Uso, and then he goes on to take somebody on. But then that all depends on what happens on Friday. Is Gunther going to go over? Is he going to go over because Sammy screws?
But we're even assuming that there's going to be a match.
What, this Friday?
Like, we're assuming the match is going to actually happen as opposed to a schmoz, and then they just call it a three-way at Night of Champions.
Oh, there's that. I didn't even think of that. Can you believe I didn't even think of that? Like, I haven't given this that much. So I kept my head was hurting because none of this stuff do I want to see. Like, I guess if Sammy becomes world champ, I wanted to see it like when he was kind of hot, and he's one of their best workers, but he seems like he should be like, a janitor or something. He's just like that weird guy. So like, if he's not, sometimes I get sick of Sammy, even though he's great. He should be between
the Bloodline and Jey Uso. Between the Bloodline, Jey Uso, Cody Rhodes, Sami Zayn, Gunther, Obafemi, what do you want to see for SummerSlam? Let's talk about the end game here for SummerSlam.
Do we want to see Cody and Sammy in like a blood feud where the title's not on the line? Where they finally like all of these backstage segments and Sammy knocking over water bottles for the first half of the year, being like, "Garbage!" and all this stuff. Like, does it all culminate at SummerSlam?
Does it culminate with? Here's my thing. I think it will, and I don't think they need to use the title for this.
No, that's what I mean. Like, that's why I think. Gunther, right.
I think. I exactly. Gunther was my
Sammy
choice. Now,
here, right?
Here's what I'm thinking. What was Sammy's former best friend, BFF, whatever. His gimmick right before he left and got injured. Kevin Owens was right.
Yeah.
It's very similar to what Sami Zayn is doing right now.
Well, I mean, you've seen one of the few like major like video series I did was the What If Sami Zayn series.
Yeah.
There's a couple of them. So like I've delved into all this stuff. But now
I
it's
know,
past
but
the timeline I was working at to a degree, but it's all still valid.
But also now we're at the point where from a story, from a character development, from a does this make sense, which is crazy to talk about when we talk about wrestling in general, whatever company. It makes sense right now to have Kevin Owens come back and say, see, I was right. And then Sami Zayn says, yeah, you were right. Now they're BFFs again.
Maybe. I mean, because Kevin's going to be hard pressed for Kevin to come back and be a heel, which is like part and parcel of this whole Brock Lesnar thing. Like if Brock Lesnar is somehow screwing Oba and then going to SummerSlam, and if that's somehow a retirement match, or if Oba somehow goes through, wins a title, and now it's like title versus career. Any way that you chalk this up, do you want to have Brock Lesnar as a heel coming in for what could be his final match? And in Minnesota, is SummerSlam in Minnesota? What's in Minnesota?
Minnesota. SummerSlam.
Yeah, so like, if this is his coup de grace, his like final moment, is he coming in as a heel trying to beat up Oba Femi?
Magnus Opus. Now,
yeah.
Here's the
I don't
thing.
know. Everything just seems so weird to me right now.
It's weird, but like we're also talking. I don't know. I like it in a sense because for the first time, not for the first time, but possibly for the first time in a while since Triple H is booking, since he's been head of creative and not had a story to finish, it seems fun because we don't know what's going to happen. There are a lot of possibilities. This is the point I'm trying to make right now. There are a lot of possibilities.
Hey, when's this like champion versus champion like Saudi title thing? Is that usually happening at Night of Champions? It's not happening
That's
this year?
typically at Crown Jewel or Night of Champions. I forget which one. Now, it doesn't matter.
Well, I mean, people were saying that it might have been SummerSlam. They were moving towards Cody and Roman. Like they wanted to get a Cody Roman 3 in or whatever. Like we're talking Jey Uso wins the King of the Ring, goes against Cody, loses against Cody. It's Cody and Roman, blah, 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 because of Jey being involved. They have some sort of interaction. And then they move the exact way that like corporate has been planning all year. And we're all debating all this crap. And it's like, yeah.
Yeah, but that's part of it. Right at the end of the day,
yeah,
but
I guess so.
The point I'm trying to make is that there are a lot of possibilities right now, and it's kind of cool, kind of fun in a sense, not knowing exactly how everything's going to be booked. Like SummerSlam is what, 2 months away ish, just under 2 months, and technically speaking, second biggest show of the year, technically. Right, and we don't know the exact direction. We don't know the exact matches. We don't know the.
This is true, and I'm not trying to shit on it.
No, I know,
like,
I know.
I almost want to say like it doesn't matter though. Like any of these directions that they could be going, all these unknowns that are so exciting, are any of them things you want to see? You're kind of like,
okay. Here's a better question:
right? But I'm trying.
Are any of them going to fill up the U.S. Is it the U.S. Bank Arena or whatever it's called in Minnesota?
Yeah,
US
like
Bank
I don't know.
Stadium.
Like, I don't really want to see much more of Jey Uso doing his like solo thing. Like he needs to be fired up like freaking younger brother Jey. Man, like I like this, I kind of liked Oba Femi just beating Dom in like a straight match, but it's not what I expected. So now I'm like, what do we do with Oba moving forward? I see King Yeet, but I don't know. I think the Oba Femi thing is throwing them for a loop. They weren't really expecting it to be quite so hard. But I guess we could see Javon in there. They've had matches before in NXT, lots. So maybe just goes straight to that and then King Oba. Or nobody's even thinking, what if Javon goes all the way somehow? And then they just give Javon a one-off match somewhere on one of these, like on Saturday Night Live to the champ. There's a great showing at Saturday Night Live against Cody or whatever. Like there's just, but none of it seems like that super enthralling. You know what I mean? Like WWE has like lost a lot of it has that corporate sheen now where you feel like they're having the same discussions we are, and none of it's like organic. It all feels weird. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I didn't like Fatu losing, but now I'm realizing, what would he be the head of the bloodline right now, and where would Roman be? Like, I don't know. I kind of like this. Like,
well,
Roman
it would only make
realizing
sense
that Jacob's the one, and he's like,
it would only make sense, technically speaking. Now thinking about it, if Roman wasn't on TV and he was gone for a while, right?
Yeah. So like it might happen later in the year. Who knows? Very interesting stuff.
But so with that said, let's keep on this bloodline stuff. What's happening with our boy Solo Sikoa and those guys?
I don't know. What is happening with them? And none of them are in the King of the Ring still. Do you think they're going to be getting somebody? Everybody keeps talking about Royce Keys somehow joining them, but he's not bloodline. Like, I don't get it. I don't know.
Right.
What do you think's going on with them? Why'd you bring it up?
I'm just wondering. What you're thinking.
Talk ladies King of the Ring, because this whole
thing.
We will. Does Liv lose this week? Does Liv go all the way? Does Liv actually win the King of the Ring and Queen of the Ring, and then is like, like I don't even have to face anybody? Or does she go? I don't know. Like she's like, I don't have to take on myself and just prove that I am the greatest of all. And you're just like, oh God, like I don't know. She's getting stuck. Want to talk about her getting stalked? Whew.
But
Good old Canadian boys.
anyway, but they still, Jesus Christ, but they still have kind of a money match. They have at least story, background, whatever with Liv and Rhea, if that's the direction that they go. But let's talk about this. Let's talk about the Night of Champions Queen of the Ring tournament. Io Sky, and I know we're jumping out of chronological order. I'm sorry for that. But Io Sky versus Raquel Rodriguez happened this past week. And here's the thing. Sometimes sometimes you just have some well-written stories that write themselves, and for some reason, they choose not to go in that direction because, dude, what are they waiting for with this Raquel Rodriguez, Liv Morgan stuff? If for Raquel Rodriguez to lose, Io Sky moving forward, if Liv Morgan moves forward, that's just like, okay, here we go again with Io and Liv, then on the but at the same time, Charlotte kind of makes sense. So I'm not sure. I kind of feel bad for Raquel Rodriguez right now.
Yeah, even a few months ago, it seemed like she was primed to be like Big Daddy, Big Mama cool, and now she's like,
okay, look, we go through Elimination Chamber, she loses. We go through Queen of the Ring tournament, she loses. What's the end game for Raquel Rodriguez at this point?
I don't know. I bet they don't have a plan. We all think about this way more than they do. They don't. Oh,
1,000%.
She's fodder. She's just fodder. She's not the one for them. We all think she should be, but she's a Baron Corbin to them, and we're all like, no, she's a Randy Orton, and they're like, no, she's a Baron Corbin. Hey, Baron Corbin, if he comes back with this Danhausen thing, it'll be the greatest thing he's ever done. It'll be like Grande Americano, like he'll never be able to go back.
Oh, 100%.
It'll be Corbinhausen forever.
100%. Yeah. Has to be.
Next.
All right, next. All right, let's stick with this Queen of the Ring stuff. So we have Liv Morgan. We already talked about Liv Morgan. Like, what if she wins? Okay, that's an interesting tournament. Charlotte Flair. Hey, but here's the biggest question: is Rhea Ripley even going to be ready for SummerSlam?
Yeah, so for this injury, she looks like so gaunt these days. I don't know. Hopefully she's okay. Hopefully she's spending some time with Murphy too. He's still not working, right?
Yeah.
So
even though he came back at those indie shows, because that's a smart way to come back from a year-plus injury, is coming back on an indie show.
Well, I mean, at least you can kind of control it maybe a little bit. I don't know, but yes, there are unknowns and factors for indie shows, but still, I don't know. I wouldn't mind seeing Charlotte, I guess, go to the end, but who would they be taking on? You've got Liv on one side, who's in this tournament, and who's on the other side?
So it's Liv Morgan and Charlotte Flair on the other semifinals. Io Sky's already in the finals.
Oh yeah, so who do you think's going to be in the end? You think it'll be Charlotte against Io, and then Charlotte going to the top? Who's the women's WWE champion right now? It's Rhea, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't care about any of this. It all seems so weird. I kind of want Liv to just win the whole thing and then be like, hey,
at this point, that's the best option.
Yeah, why not? Okay.
Right? At this point, that's the best option.
Takes it out of play.
Here's the thing. If Rhea is injured, that might be the best move possible. Is just give it to Liv. Liv says, Rhea's injured. I don't have to face anyone. And then you can set up a match with one of the three women, Io Sky, Raquel Rodriguez, or even Charlotte Flair again, right? You kind of have
there's other things you could focus on for SummerSlam coming up. I mean, isn't what's going on with Blake Monroe and Tiffany Stratton. There's U.S. title stuff. There's IC title stuff, I guess. Saul Ruka. What's going on with Becky? I don't know. They could focus on another title. Heaven forbid. They've got these titles. They could do something.
You asked for too much. You asked for way too much.
SummerSlam's not 2 nights this year, is it?
Yep, it's 2 nights.
Dude, let's get some. Heaven forbid, we get a women's U.S. title match somewhere here in these 2 nights. I don't know what to say.
Yeah, I don't know. It's all weird to me. It's honestly very weird to me. There's a lot of weird stuff. It's not. Are we sounding more negative than it really is?
I mean, maybe, yeah. I guess I'm feeling a little negative tonight, but for some reason, I'm not excited. in any fashion for WWE right now, which is too
Same.
bad because over the last few years they've had a lot of stuff going on, and they kind of are like things are going well with them, but I don't know. It's I feel like things get dropped when they shouldn't. Like what's going on with Street Profits? Why is it so convoluted with Seth? Why is it taking so long? And then you realize that like they're one of the biggest, certainly the biggest wrestling company in the world, but also one of the biggest entertainment and touring sports brands and entertainment brands in the world. And they're having visa issues, like Dragunov's popping up like at like the dungeon with Natty and TJ, but somehow he can't get on any cards. So he's in the country. Joe Hendry supposedly can't get on cards because of visas. Like Stephanie Vacour, even if she's healed, there's visa issues. There's visa issues everywhere. AAA's having visa issues with people working down there. Like, I don't understand.
Hold on. You would think, considering who has TKO stocks, they could, call a favor.
Yeah. And like, even with the fact that Liv's in this tournament as well, like if there's all these visa issues, like can't she be doing something more? She's been doing like 0 title defenses really,
Okay,
other than
that's besides the point. That's like they being WWE had 0 plan for a lot of people post WrestleMania.
I guess so. For somebody that got like injured and beat up and had her face smashed in and then finally won the title with a half concussion and a brand new single that got released, they just cooled her right off. At least she's getting some time to like not get beat up. But what happened to this single? What happened to like all of this? I don't know. It's so weird. Anyways, continue on. I'm sorry. I'm feeling like I'm a bit scattered today. I am the one that's scattered, and I keep like coming out with points and then being like, forget it, continue. But yeah, like the whole Logan Paul angle ended with Hendry, not only because of Logan Paul's arm, but also Joe Henry with this visa thing. Now Logan Paul's back on TV, and we don't see Joe Henry. Like I would have thought
because he's having visa issues
with Hendry and a Theory, at least like somehow give him some TV time. This guy's so hot. Have we even seen his entrance? Like they keep coming and he's in the ring doing something. Like we haven't even seen his bloody entrance to the ring, let alone like a proper match or in any kind of push. Like he's been Cardonized.
Yeah. That's WWE for you, my friend. Yeah. Visa issues, no story, no creative that doesn't make sense. And yet, the bloodline continues.
Did our recording like stop and restart?
No.
Oh.
Why?
Because it says live recording 2 minutes, 46 seconds.
Mine says 35:43.
Oh. That's weird.
Yeah.
Because mine did say something similar to that recently.
I don't know what to tell you.
Huh.
All right.
Well, damn, I guess I'm really tired, man. It has been rough. I've been working on this.
No, you have been really... Yeah, you've been working a lot.
Dude, I've been working, and it's mostly this book and like the TV series. Like I'm just the scripting is next level. It's just constant, like with deadline now, and so I'm like crazy freaking tired. Making the background today was actually like a break. I was like, I'll make the background for A+ today. I'll put CM.
There we go.
Peekaboo, where's CM Punk?
There we go. Look at that. No, I know that feeling.
It, like my energy's down. Usually I talk enough that we're like going overtime, and right now I'm like.
Yeah, no, we have enough to fill up the time. It's just a matter of where do we want to go, because like I don't want to sound too negative, but then let's flip the page to AEW Forbidden Door. I've always had an issue with Forbidden Door. Now, I love the concept of Forbidden Door, where we get these cool matches with AEW guys, with New Japan guys, and you can throw in some CMLL and whoever the fuck else you want to. Sorry for that, KPHR Hamilton. But with AEW just decimating the New Japan locker room anytime someone gets somewhat popular, what's the point of the Forbidden Door pay-per-view at this point? We're not getting dream matches anymore. We're just getting matches that could happen on ROH.
Yeah, it's almost like when you finally get what you want, it's never any good. Like I always used to say a long time ago, I was like, if you feel like you take a sip of somebody's Coke, or if they give you a corner of their chocolate bar, like, oh, it's so freaking.
Oh, Coke.
And then
Coca-Cola.
Yeah, Coca-Cola. Sip. I said sip. And then you go and you buy your own chocolate bar, and it's never as good. So like Forbidden Door was like something you wanted. You're like, oh, we're gonna open the Forbidden Door. But as soon as the Forbidden Door became anything official and branded, then it wasn't really forbidden anymore. The reason it was forbidden was you would get the odd guy. Sometimes it was sanctioned. Sometimes you get a guy that just got released and he showed up. Like, oh, where's the match we never thought we'd have? Like, oh my God. But when it became official, it lost its luster. And then the world changed from under us. And now it really lost its luster. There's no point in it. There is no Forbidden Door. These companies are all working together. It's not forbidden. Like Tomohiro Ishii, lives in the United States now, shows up on like every other show with the conglomeration. Is that what they're called? Bloody hell.
Yep. But okay, now so that's one issue. But the other issue is because AEW continues to push, we need to have interpromotional matches, but they can't get out of their biggest issue with Forbidden Door was that it always felt like an off-canon event because no one fucking knows. I shouldn't say no one. The AEW audience knows who some of these people are coming from other companies. But if I was flipping, here's a perfect example. My brother loves watching wrestling.
Dude, you're wrestling so digitized, and I'm hoping that it's just me because often
it's just you.
That it is just me.
It's just you. No, 1,000% it's just you. It's just you.
All right, go
Check your internet. Jesus Christ. What was I saying? Oh yeah, my brother's a perfect example of this. He watches wrestling, but he can't keep up with everything around the world. So when he does watch AEW and it's around Forbidden Door time, he's the first person to say, I don't know who the F these people are. I don't know who this person is. Why should I care about this? And they're continuing this long-lasting tradition, and it's just getting worse and worse. Like the only important, somewhat interesting part right now in AEW, I guess, is Briscoe and MJF, why they're having a 12-person match or whatever. But it's also the Owen Hart tournament.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's Ospreay that's obviously winning, but it should be a hell of a match. I mean, Swerve and Ospreay are going to go hard on that. But I think if it's anybody but Will Ospreay, I mean, I guess Swerve can say he's been there before, All In main event. I'm going back to Wembley. But obviously this is Will Ospreay's match to win, right?
Right. And then on the other side, we have Hazuki and Mercedes Moné, which I called it Mercedes Moné being the wild card. And then on the other side, we have Athena and Maya World. So we're going to get Athena and Mercedes Moné.
Dude, I mean, Mercedes Moné is probably going to go all the way, but man, Athena really needs something more tangible and solid than just ROH. It'd be too bad if she lost this match.
So, okay, but here's the thing. She can dominate ROH, but the way that she gets treated on the, I'm just going to say it, the AEW main roster, they really make it seem like ROH, like great, you're the champion, but you can't win 2 matches here.
Sorry, I just turned you off for a second because I'm trying to figure out why it is so bad. Like I have never had a clip like this before. I can barely freaking concentrate. It's just like
I don't know what to tell you. I'm fine because I'm watching us on my side screen also.
This is crazy.
I'm watching us on the side screen.
Installation. Let's see. I'm just trying a few other things, but go on. Maybe I can put you.
I don't know. What I was just saying is that Athena just doesn't feel special anymore. Athena doesn't matter. Athena, great that you're 10-year ROH champion. That's great. You can't string up a couple back-to-back wins in AEW, right? Like it just seems weird.
Yeah, it really does. And I would love her to do. I'd love for them to do something with her. She seems primed to just like leave AEW, go back to WWE, and be amazing.
She really does, doesn't she?
Because why does Tony not want to pull the trigger with her on the main roster? She should be where Tekla is, you know. Yeah. But I don't know. Good. I think it's Mercedes going all the way, and it'd be great for her to be like, still have her belt, be like, man, it's still mine, you know, like the one she didn't lose, or she loses it, and finally that's the last belt she actually loses, and she does get to physically lose it as opposed to just not being in the tournament or winning the tournament, you know. But that's pretty interesting. There, a lot of other interesting stuff. I didn't pay that much attention recently. Now this whole steel cage match is actually like a team match, but the winner. Okay.
No, here's the thing. No. If Mark Briscoe's team wins this huge match, Mark Briscoe gets a title shot.
Yes. And where would that be at? It wouldn't be at All In, would it?
Probably in Montreal.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense. We do love ourselves some Briscoe. I was actually considering like Briscoe was on a short list for like Premier Champ at one point. We were like, bring him in, let's do it. This before the actual AEW signing and before his brother died. We were like, let's peel him off from the team and like give him our belt. That'd be great. Bring him in every month. But yeah, like that should be a fun match. It'll be very AEW, so it's gonna be nuts. The whole Don Callis thing is weird. Like, so Kevin Knight's working with MJF, and there's gonna be 3 to be announced guys, which are probably all gonna be Don Callis family guys, and it's like. And obviously, Mark's guys are going to be all conglomeration guys. That's probably all getting worked out right now while we're on the air because we go live these days during AEW.
Yes, we do.
I can't see how Zack Saber's going to get a third win, get a win over Omega. So it looks like he's going 0-3 against Omega in his career.
Yeah,
because Omega's got to have his big redemption story, right? Like that's kind of what they're leading towards. No,
that's literally what they're leading towards. It's Omega's. This is his redemption story. He's coming back, baby. This is New Japan Kenny Omega, not this AEW bastardized Kenny Omega.
So if this redemption story happens, then what does that mean?
The end game?
Does that mean we're going Omega versus Ospreay for All In?
What's to say that it's not MJF?
Well, I mean,
this Omega story can last longer than All In.
Taking on MJF in Montreal, right? Am I wrong? Or coming up in Canada?
I'm saying Briscoe. If Briscoe wins, he will probably face MJF in Montreal, unless that match takes place on a random Dynamite. Which at this point, sure, let's do that, and then have Omega and MJF
early this morning. And I you know what? I put it on a tab here, a video I was going to watch about the redemption of Kenny Omega. And this video is basically about him like becoming like taking the title coming up very soon. And that it's very obvious that they're pushing him towards a title shot.
Okay, so then we get so this is what happens. What if MJF teams wins? Or doesn't matter. We have that match on a random Dynamite. MJF wins, he beats Briscoe. We move on to Montreal. It's Canada. Omega loves their Canada. Omega wins. He's the champ going into All In into August. We have about a month set up for Ospreay Omega. That's not to say that that's a money match. We saw that Forbidden Door a couple years ago here.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I guess the money match here is Zack Sabre against Omega. That's a pretty big money match. I wish I'd watched that video earlier because now I'm confused. Because yeah, it's too bad. But I feel like they're trying to push Omega towards getting another title win and kind of like redeeming himself.
Yeah, but it doesn't need to happen this summer. It can happen later this year. It can happen in Toronto in September, October, whenever they plan to come here.
That's true. And you've got Edge coming through, most likely retiring, they're thinking, here in town.
Yeah.
There's still a lot of unannounced stuff for this show, though, right? Like we got Takeshita, Fletcher, possibly.
There's only 5 matches announced right now. It's not even half the card's been announced.
Have more CMML people. I don't really know much about Starlight Kid.
I love Starlight Kid. She's awesome.
Yeah, but it's never been somebody that's been on my radar too much. Even when I watch my Joshi, I've watched less Joshi now than I ever have in my life. But yeah, like I'm thinking Thekla for sure.
Yeah.
So and I'm thinking Mercedes for sure, and then Ospreay for sure, and like this steel cage match seems like it's a wash either way. If Briscoe wins, he's not taking the title. It'll just be some throwaway match somewhere along the line. But they'll be able to hype it up as like, oh, he's got wins over MJF, and Briscoe. So yeah, like as far as what's been presented so far, it seems once again like AEW, either you have no idea what's going to happen or it kind of seems obvious, and then obvious is always built to the point where you want that to happen, but I don't know.
Yeah, well, so is WWE's, but the problem is they never pull the trigger. I just feel like right now, both companies creatively are kind of feeling the same. I think that's how I personally feel. I know right now a lot of people are writing angry messages saying you're insane, blah, 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 blah.
No,
but I honestly feel both companies are in I don't want to say a lull, but they're just coasting.
I've been thinking about doing a video about how AEW is the old WWF and WWE is the old, WCW corporate, like to a degree. Like they've completely flipped in so many ways. And so prime example is this steel cage. Like a Jim Cornette type would be like, so wait, Mark Briscoe randomly just goes up to Tony and is like, hey, Tony, got a great idea. Like I want to have a steel cage match with like 4 other guys. And if my team wins against MJF, then I get a title shot against MJF. Tony's like, okay, Mark, that sounds great. You know, it's like
that's literally what happened.
That kind of is probably what happened.
That's
like
what happened.
Except it's MJF being like, "Hey Tony," like behind the scenes, it's like, "Hey, we've got this." You know, there's an injury concern about MJF's knee right now. He's tweaked his knee recently, like a minor injury, but supposedly something they want to like take it easy on. So it's like, hey, I got a great idea. How about we do this thing where I don't have to be full time? We'll get Kevin Knight in there and some Don Callis guys. We'll do a schmoz match where I don't have to be the focus of the match and go hard. And then like we'll move in towards another match. You know, and you know, it's amazing how when guys are injured, they want to do plunder. And you think in your mind, you're like, no, like if
you want to
do weapons and crazy shit if you're injured, but like,
but here we are.
No, I'm telling you, like Gringo Loco's had a bit of an ankle issue just over the last few months. So because we had this ladder match scheduled, when it came up to it, he's like, he wanted more and more plunder because like, you don't have to work a match if you have plunder. You just got to go through stuff and hit guys with stuff. And like, that's easy. Really? Sure. It's like taxing, but you don't have to worry about your tweaked knee or your bad back or your thing. You got to worry about that when you're bridging for a guy or basing for a guy or kicking out of a move or getting ready to, or climbing up the ropes and balancing yourself and get ready to flip. All that stuff takes core energy. Like, oh, the thing you've pulled here, your knee you've pulled there, bro. Standing your ground and hitting a guy with a chair or like picking him up, getting him, putting him through a table. This is all easy stuff on your body and on your injuries. And it like gets big pops. You can lay out after a big like plunder spot and you can waste like 4 or 5 minutes with replays, rolling around, holy shits, gigging yourself, you know, half the match goes to downtime. So when guys are injured, they want to do these matches. So I'm sure that MJF was just like, hey, Tony, I got a great idea. Let's do this. And Tony was like,
yeah.
Okay, Mac, that sounds great. Yeah.
Yeah, makes sense. No, you know what? In a logical, if you really think about it and you know wrestling and that sort of stuff, it makes sense. But just from a sanity point of view, it's like you're saying what? You're injured, so you want to do this.
Yeah, like dude.
But it makes sense.
Rumors are that MJF is going to like totally MJF heel out and not even participate in this match and somehow skid out and it'll be all Don Callis guys.
Dude, with I was going to say, with 50 members of the Don Callis family.
I got a doctor's note or something. And you just like such heel heat. You're like, oh, you should. The kind of stuff that Cornette loves and that nobody does and that really somehow only MJF can get away with. Like MJF does that and you boo him and you like booing him for it. You're like, you son of a bitch. It's like Undertaker 2002 Rumble with Brock Lesnar being like, you got me, Brock, you know, or like the Flash with the trickster when he's like, got me again, Flash. And he's like, hey, yeah, like it basically that's how MJF, you're kind of like, got us again, MJF. But if anybody in WWF did that, advertised the match, steel cage, and it was like, oh, the champ is like skidding out of the match, we'd be like freaking riot online. People will be like, those sons of bitches. Like nobody would be able to get away with it, no matter their position, heel, baby.
Or like that Raw.
You're like expecting it with MJF. You're like, damn right, he got out of that dumb match. MJF's not gonna fucking do a cage match. You an idiot? Like he's not bleeding if he doesn't have to. Doesn't bleed his own blood. Nobody.
We saw him bleed a shit ton here in Toronto.
Yeah, but still, like, of course, the fact that he does is part and parcel of the fact that he would say, like, I don't, you know, I'm MJF, I don't do these dog shit matches and all this stuff. But of course he does. He loves it. He does the dog collar matches. Yeah. He does the tack matches. He does the stuff. But in the way he presents it.
But this is the thing about MJF. This is the difference between MJF and Moxley. When he does it, because he does it so rarely, it's special.
Yes, to a degree it is. Yes. He's been wrestling more lately. But yes.
Yeah, he has been. A lot more lately.
But speaking of a lot more, there's going to be a lot where, like, during this podcast, they've announced like 10 matches. Historically, there's like 11, like 12, 13 matches sometimes, including 0 Hour on these cards. Like, so, like, there's something's going to be announced that you're missing out on if you're watching me and Boris.
What were we talking about? Oh, yeah. So interesting stuff happened. I mean, I was just looking because you said they announced 10 matches probably. So I'm like, okay, what's actually happened on Dynamite so far? We got Kenny Omega versus Tony Nese, and then also John Moxley and Daniel Garcia versus Bandito and Brody King. That's a very interesting match.
Yeah, man, Garcia's got to be eating some sort of loss there.
Yep. All right. Exactly. And again, for those of you listening on KPH or Hamilton, I do apologize, but you can join in on the fun every single Wednesday, 8 p.m. Oh, yeah. High quality, not low brow entertainment here on A Plus Wrestling. KPHR Hamilton at youtube.com at Hutch Henry's Hut. Got about, let's go another 10 minutes or so just to make up for whatever the hell's happening.
10
So what do you want
minutes.
to talk about now?
Right. Well, we can talk a little bit about Demand Lucha. We had a hell.
You know what? Let's talk about some Demand Lucha. I was so busy last week. I look at the clock and it's like 7:45. I'm like, yeah, I'm not making it at this time.
Dude,
if I was home in
match.
Toronto, if I was at home in Toronto, easily could have made it. But I was still in Mississauga. I'm like, motherfucker. But let's talk about that last week. But I also want to talk about what's happened on August 20th because that's your next show. And it looks awesome.
Yeah, dude, the Summer Rumble is going to be great. We've been trying to get Luigi Primo up for a while.
Yeah.
So Luigi Primo in the house. We might get the Openweight Championship on the line if we're lucky. We La Bandita just getting over her injuries. We've got Matt Riddle in the house thanks to the CNE.
I saw that.
Yes. I was all like, dude, Matt Riddle? And then that was like, oh, the CNE, we're like, it's like all folded in with the CNE and we're paying like nothing for him. So we're like, okay. That's the only way that I want Matt Riddle on my card is if I'm not having to pay for it. It's perfect.
There you go.
That's how it works. That's when you know it. There's ever somebody where like, that's weird that Demand Lucha has that guy on their card. But yeah, the ladder match this last week was great. We had our second rave down the night after, and they're doing ladder matches now. They have like a ladder match championship. So I got to break it to the guy that I'm not setting up a ladder match every single time he has a show. So I was like, you might want to take the word ladder off your title there because this ain't happening every month, pal. I need to bring in the rigging and like pulleys and truss. I'm like, hey, screw this.
One quick thing. Those rave down shows that happen on the Friday after the Demand shows.
Yeah.
Those look so interesting on social media.
They're insane. They want me to start filming them like a proper show. And I'm like, there's nothing. It's just blasting music. And
how can you film that?
I can't try to tell them I can't.
What is this?
The clips look great.
Yeah.
I guess
in your house, beware of dog.
I might try and film it next time, like a full, complete rave down match. We'll see. Maybe I should have this last time, but I didn't even know they were doing a ladder match like till I was told that I wasn't getting the stuff till the Friday, and then I showed them. I'm like, oh, so then I showed up, and I'm like, all right, showing up anyways. But yeah, it's funny. Tara Zepp won the championship, the Rave Down Championship, even though she's been on our shows, but it keeps getting canceled. Like weirdly enough, every time she's on a show, something happens, and we have to. Then she ends up not being on the show. And now the first time she's actually shown up, it's on a show that's not our show, and she even wins the belt.
Go figure.
Go figure.
Go figure.
So, yeah, what else happened there? Dude, Fresh Air is over as hell as our tag champs. Good stuff there. I actually put the title up last time. Last time, Joe, our ring guy, put the title up. For some reason, he didn't want to do it this time. And I had a pulley system set up now with like a 2-to-1 pulley system. But I still needed somebody to like pull on it. And when it gets to the top, the bars like start to bend inward, and it's fine. They're not going to snap or anything. But if somebody was just there on a ladder, giving the belt a little push, since our belt is 30 bloody pounds now with the new belt we have.
Love those new belts.
It's crazy, the new belt. I can't believe it. As soon as they said ladder match, I was like, our belt is 3 times as heavy as the previous belt, which like changes the logistics of hanging the belt above the ring in a venue where their main freaking selling point is their ceiling. So we ain't touching that shit.
That AEW title is probably 20 pounds also.
Oh yeah, dude. Did you get that one from Tom, his distributor?
I get it. I always get them from Tom.
All right. So like that's not as heavy as our title. It's close to, but our title's very freaking heavy.
Crazy.
Yeah, it's insane. And I really didn't want a heavy title because you can't swing a heavy title. You can't do stuff with a heavy title. Like you want to look cool, you got get yourself a 2mm plate title. And like when it gets all scuffed up and stuff, you get another one because they're cheaper. You know, kids spending so much money on the big title belts that you care so much about. And, anyway,
you know how hard it is to even take care of some of these, like because there's all the diamonds and stuff.
There, Joe, our ring guy's in the chat right now, and he's like, "It's a bitch to lift." So yes, very true. So yeah, and like so we had that match going on, and that was some fun stuff. And Joe definitely helped out with that. So I got to put up the title this time. Complete insanity with that match, using like glass. They as former partners, they had a shot of whiskey in the ring and then smashed glasses into each other's face. For the first time, we had broken glass on a table, covered in another table, going through that. It was.
I saw Hurricanrana at the bar area.
Yeah, for like I've been so behind on like actually editing events, and Gringo's like, man, this would have been. There's so many clips online. It'd be great to have the full match out. So I might go and actually edit that match or that event. We might go chronologically backwards instead of forwards now. Or we'll right now I have to do the well, then 2 other things in this. So I might start now and go backwards to the well. But yes, Joe is also saying that carrying both the tag titles is a bitch. The tag titles are just as equally as heavy. Yeah, I can't believe that we have such beautiful belts and all I want to do is change them for like thinner plates. But that's okay. We can, because then you have these almost like having your Mona Lisa in the safe and displaying your other Mona Lisa.
Exactly. But yeah, good times. It sounded like a great time, man. Looked like a great time. The Poison Rana guys, I was following, like they were posting. Obviously, Tom was posting stuff. Saw some of his stuff. Pure fan
I was
shop.
hanging with the Rana guys for just a little bit there. Funny enough, the crowd seemed almost a little subdued, even though they were really hyped. And the middle of the show, I thought like dragged a little, even though it was like hype at the beginning. It's awesome. Like for a show that everybody will look back on and be like, yo, that was an insane show. I personally felt as it was happening, I was like, some of the matches like weirdly dragged. And like everybody's times were under, but it still seemed like it dragged. It was odd. But Joe was saying that Rave the next night was great. And I don't know if you were listening earlier, Joe. I mean, I didn't catch all of it, but yeah, like those things are starting to get over. And yeah, I might have to start going there and filming them now. We'll see. This will be fun. We maybe get involved in this a little more into our social media and into our actual Demand Lucha feed on YouTube. But Joe, if you were there, you can agree. If you notice that their championship says ladder championship, like it's a ladder match championship. And I was like, somebody needs to tell them I ain't bringing that stuff. We ain't doing that every show.
You were ready to go crazy last week for your own show.
What was that?
You were kind of going crazy for your own show.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out how to get this belt up. And I had like a hangman system made out of like grip pipe and stuff that we use in film for hanging lights. But then I just went back to the tri-true double pull and like cable. But I put the cable on instead of having to get up and hang it and having it stagnant. I put the cable on a 2-to-1 pulley system so we could just like bring it down, put the belt on. But I still went up with the ladder and gave it a little push so that there was less pressure, And of course, everybody's like higher. Yeah, and I get the hey. It was like the most attention I've got in the ring in a while.
There you go. That's always fun.
Like a mic in my hand too. Everybody, look at me, Hutch Henry's.
Could have done some promotion, that's how you do.
Yeah, for the A+ promotion. While I'm up here, everybody go to luchamarket.com. Buy a t-shirt.
Exactly. There you go. Yeah, but that's awesome. So yeah, next show's August the 20th. Anything happening anytime before that?
I'm not sure. Well, Joe in the chat here, does he have? He might have a show. It was July 1st, but now I think it's getting moved from the Canada Day to July 4th, maybe to the American one. I don't know. He'll maybe say something here in the chat. Joe's got a show coming up. It's just a one-off show. Just Mark's doing their Mark thing. It's okay. But no, I think our next big show, this is our summer break. So we've been doing like back-to-back shows, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. This time we're taking a bit of a break through July. Shore up those ticket sales, get ready for the Summer Rumble. A couple of extra people. Like when we do a Royal Rumble and tag matches and multi-man tag matches, you're hiring more guys, right? You got 5 matches that are all singles matches. It's different than if you've got 5 matches and one's a Rumble and 2 of them are multi-man tag matches. It's a bigger card, bigger people. So it's not the reason we take a break. Summer or July, people are just starting to get into the weather and going outside more. And we found that there's a few times throughout the year, if we take a break, just shores up tickets for the next show. And just people start saying like, hey, when's the next show? We're getting excited. And if you go every 3 weeks, you don't get that as much. So gotta leave one more.
Yep.
And that ladder match is a great way to do it.
There you go. Yeah, exactly. There's hell of a way to end the show. Hell of a way to get people talking. But where can you find all of the your beautiful work?
Well, right now at Hutch Henry's and at Demand Lucha, we got a lot of projects on the go that are gonna be popping up soon. Some book stuff, some TV show stuff, some other wrestling related stuff and podcast stuff. Plus you and I believe we've got a big interview coming up within the next few weeks. And
yes,
Joe has confirmed that July 4th is now his show, and he's doing it for the community and the kids so they can see wrestling. So Joe, before this podcast ends in the next 30 seconds, you want to drop a ticket link or tell anybody just a single name I can say if people want to look at it online. But besides that, check us out, Hutch Henry's. We're going to be changing up that channel too. Man, so much stuff going on. Oh my Lord.
We need to take the summer break. Not we can't really take much of a break, but we got to shore up a few things here. We do have, as Hutch kind of mentioned, a pretty big interview coming up with someone very well known in the wrestling industry. He has a book coming out, so we're going to be talking to this person later on this month, most likely, or early next month. Still trying to figure out the exact time. Joe says Driftwood Community Center shows at 4 and 7. It's a free show. Driftwood Community Center, July the 4th, 4 p.m., 7 p.m.
Awesome. We'll put an advertisement for it in the description of this show at some point.
Yep, perfect.
Yeah, but that's pretty cool. A lot of interesting stuff going on here. So I'm glad anybody that's still paying attention here, watching. Thank you very much. We're gonna have a heck of a summer.
We really are. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be crazy busy, good busy. All personal projects, wrestling projects, and so much more. Podcasting projects, so much more. A Plus Productions is where you can find everything for this show. Go to your favorite podcasting app and search for A Plus Productions or A Plus Wrestling. Hit that subscribe, leave a review. You're making me laugh right now, Hutch. Thank you so much for listening. Again, if this is the first episode, 100th episode, we appreciate each and every single one of you. Thank you so much. Good night. But most importantly, stay tranquilo.